It's all right. Here we go. You were just saying that. Hey, everybody. Welcome to What's Happening in Central Oregon. Our bi-weekly. I think we're going to do this bi-weekly. We're trying to do it bi-weekly. Please
Starting today.
Where we talk about all things Central Oregon, what's happening, development news, economic news, business news. And so first thing we want to do is say hi and maybe, I don't know.
And
go ahead.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. That's right.
2025.
Oh, my gosh. I'm not ready for 25. Are you?
No, but apparently it's here.
It's here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys are tuning in from somewhere else and you're watching here live, welcome. Glad you're here. Be sure to let us know down in the chat where you're writing in from. So we want to know where all of our people are coming from, and so that hey, maybe someday if somebody calls us from Walla Walla, we know that they were listening because they were on that live stream because they put Walla Walla in the chat there. All right. Cool. So let's go ahead. We've got a bunch of stories that we're going to talk about today. And again, that's the idea here is if we have guests on, that'll be great. But the idea is to talk about some economic and development news here in Central Oregon, mostly specifically Bend, but, all over the place. So why don't you take us through some of the stories we're going to talk about today?
Oh, we're going to talk about, goodness. Thanks. UGB expansion for the new Caldera neighborhood, which is super cool and fascinating. Greenwood traffic pattern. I mean, I don't know about you, but that's a hot topic for me. And a new library, geothermal craziness, energy, which is truly fascinating. And just some cool things that are happening in all of Central Oregon, not just Bend.
Exactly. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into our first story. And again, this is the very much the development news stuff. So every single time we get on here, we usually talk about some new development that's going on. And there's plenty of developments here in Central Oregon. Sometimes we're revisiting it. Sometimes we're talking about it for the first time. This is going to be the first time that we've talked about this. Brand new. Dirt hasn't been pushed around at all yet, but this is Caldera. It's the new Caldera development. And here, let's just pull it up real quick on the screen, I guess. Let's go to here. And there we go. Bend approves Caldera Ranch site for UGB expansion. And they put in affordable housing because obviously that's kind of our biggest issue right now is we need some seriously affordable housing. That's kind of the problem with all of this right now is it's just not affordable enough living here in Central Oregon and Bend. So anyway, the Bend City Council voted, this is a couple weeks ago, to approve of a new, 100 acres roughly? Is that right?
Yeah, I think
100 acres.
Yeah.
Perfect. To be included into the new UGB. Now, it's interesting because about a year ago, there was a new Senate bill. Senate bill passed 1537, which allows cities on kind of like a one-off basis to annex in some land into the UGB. And
it was this and Jasper Ridge? What was it?
There were, and so you're right. So there were two options. Two different sites that they were looking at expanding the UGB into. One of them was Jasper Ridge, I believe, and then
which is like north of like Barnes and Noble, Worthy Brewing, that kind of area, right?
Yeah, just
east, east. Yeah,
just east of Worthy Brewing, just as you head out of town there on Highway 20.
Yeah.
Ultimately, they decided to go with Caldera,
which is kind of right across the street from the Caldera High School, which is southeast of town, which I don't know. I feel like southeast town is getting so much development, which is great.
There's a lot of development coming to the southeast side of town. And this is just another further example of that. This is 91 acres, and it has plans for 716 housing units. Now, part of granting this in is that 30% of them are going to be de-restricted affordable housing. So that's really, really important. So we get 30% of that. So it's like
216, I think, or something like
that. Oh, seriously, 254 would be affordable housing. Which again is usually it's actually, it says right here, the plan includes, you want to read that?
Yeah. 192 units at 80% area median income, as well as 38 units aimed at lower income residents, making 30% of the area making 30% of the area median income. 14 townhomes, 10 detached housing units are planned to be sold to households making 130% of the area median income. Which is great. I mean, most of all of these planned neighborhoods have some aspect of affordable.
All of the new ones, everything that we've seen, that we've talked about in years past, they all have some sort of element, most of them, of affordable housing built in within them. So Stevens Ranch Road, Stevens Ranch Tract, this one, another one comes to mind that I can't think of the name of it right now, but yeah, definitely. So what do we think about this?
I think it's great. I think all of that area with the development, I mean, my biggest concern would be more commercial aspects for those people that are living on that side of town, to make it a little bit more like walkable, something, just give them some commercial aspects, like some smaller grocery stores, maybe a coffee shop, that kind of stuff, to just kind of develop that side of town to make it a little bit more. There
is some commercial coming to that. There is going to be a small commercial section coming to that, as well as park space, because that's just kind of what we do here in Bend, is bring in parks anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's got like a 4-acre park or something like that. Yeah.
So there is going to be some commercial coming to that, and not to mention there's also going to be a bunch of commercial just across the street at Easton.
Oh, that's true.
Which
Easton.
is Polish's neighborhood. They're supposed to have a whole marketplace there. That's supposed to be a really, really great area. So I think that there's going to be
it's really interesting to see that side of town getting developed, and how it's all going to unfold, and I guess the vibe it's going to give. The vibes.
Yes. So that's really exciting. We're very excited to have that going. And again, this is going to be, what does it say?
10-year project. Yeah. The homes will not be breaking ground until 2027. So I mean, it still has a lot of aspects that it has to meet.
A lot of planning.
Before it's breaking ground.
I want to say, I believe this is going to be a Hayden neighborhood. I don't know that. Oh gosh, I'm saying it now out loud on live. I believe that it's going to be a Hayden neighborhood. At least they're the ones that they were involved in that. So I believe it's going to be a Hayden neighborhood. Again,
which Hayden hasn't had a huge Bend neighborhood in a while. So
they have a few coming.
They have a lot in Redmond.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it'll be nice to see Hayden building homes here in Bend again. A lot of the construction.
A bigger development.
A lot of the construction has been in Redmond. So yeah, you're right. All right.
What's next?
Oh, that was another thing I wanted to do. I wanted to talk. Oh, we did. We talk about all of the different stories. So do you want to do this one now?
No, we'll do that one at the end.
Okay. All right. The next,
the hot topic.
The next hot topic that Shannon's just excited to talk about right here is the new Greenwood traffic pattern.
I want to know everybody's opinion on this. Even if you are local and you are watching this, I want to know your opinion on what you feel about the Greenwood traffic. What do they call it? The traffic diet?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. The Bend Bulletin one here has a different title.
Where they have made Greenwood into a road diet.
Yeah.
It's just a fad. It's a diet fad.
Yeah. It's always a fad.
Yeah, they've made it into one-ways on each side, and they've made the bike lanes bigger.
Your initial reaction, your thoughts.
I hate it.
Do you?
I worry about the businesses down there and them having parking, because I know that those are more convenient parking spots than going around the buildings and parking behind, because there's not a lot of parking behind those buildings anyways. Yeah. And I think coming from the east side, when you go onto Greenwood across 3rd, it all of a sudden there's not a lot of, I guess, what's the right word? Warning that it's getting narrowed down to a 1 lane. So it's caused a lot of confusion, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of it.
So your reaction is you're not a fan of it?
No.
Well, in this article, they're talked about how they actually, they polled like 1,000 different people. They got feedback from 1,000 different people. And it turns out that the initial, when they first opened this polling, the initial feedback that they got was positive. They were like, oh, this is looking really good. And they've had this, I think it's a whole year thing that they're doing this. They're testing this out for a year. But the initial feedback came through the first few days. It was initially really positive. And so they were, because the city's all high on this, they think this is going to be great. It's going to be super fun. Now, as of the end of December, I know we're in January now, but at the end of December, they've actually have overwhelming negative support for this. I think it's like 47 to like 30 something people. Oh no, that's a different percentage. Basically, most people don't like it, with a small percentage of people in the middle that are like, they don't care either way.
This statistic is just crazy to me.
Go ahead.
Studies have shown that those types of changes can reduce crashes by 19% to 47%.
So those types of changes can reduce crashes?
Yeah, that is a huge gap, in my opinion. Like
19 to 47?
Yeah. 19% or 40%, 7%. It's a little too, I don't know. I would like to know how much this study that they're running is costing the city.
The study.
The whole study.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, to test this out.
And also, what kind of economic, impact has this done to the businesses on Greenwood?
Well, there was another article that I read that talked about how there was a small business meeting, and basically everybody went in and they hated it, and they brought this up as, it wasn't about this, but they brought it up and they were like, let's look at the new traffic pattern that they're doing, because nobody likes it. Yeah. And none of the businesses there like it, because like you said before, there's no parking. And there's no way for people to get around. They're doing a lot of this because they want more people to ride. Yeah. And they want to reduce the emissions and carbon emissions, and have more people using different modes of transportation, like bikes and stuff like that. The problem is people don't want a bike. Well, in the middle of winter,
nobody really wants a bike. And also, if you're going to use the businesses downtown, if I'm going downtown to buy something from Lark, I'm not going to ride my bike down there to buy something from Lark. I'm going to drive my car because I can't fit whatever I buy at that store on my bike.
On your bike?
No.
We just got to get you a bigger basket.
Oh, that's right.
So, another thing that they've got all kinds of stats in this article. It's actually a fascinating article. We can put it in the link. They compare the actual, the amount of volume, the traffic difference, and it's a pretty substantial difference in traffic, but they did it based on 2 different days where they pulled the numbers. It's not like they measured traffic for a week in the fall and a week in the spring. It was like one random day in September and one random day in May. And they're looking at those 2 numbers going, oh, well, this all seems to work better because the stats are so much better. But there's 2 tiny little data points. Yeah. Like, there could easily be an outlier within all that. Like, maybe that was a day that I happened to have to go downtown 3 times because of whatever. I had a signing, or we were doing a video, or whatever it happened to be. I normally don't go down that road, but that one day I happened to do a whole bunch more. It just didn't seem like it's a very good way to track, the actual traffic that it's affecting, Yeah. But I don't know that I necessarily have a dog.
I don't have a solution.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say I don't have a dog in the fight because I don't ever see
a mass amount of bikes on Greenwood anyways. So yeah, I never really felt like that was a need. Yeah. So yeah. That's my opinion.
But lots of people have opinions. In fact, there's people that I know in the real estate world who hate it. Oh. There's a guy I know in particular in one of the committees I'm on, and he was making a big stink about it in one of our meetings. He thinks, and I can see it in here as well, they're like, oh, well, Portland Avenue, the construction that's on Portland is probably affecting this. And so maybe we shouldn't take all of the feedback quite to heart, because the construction is diverting traffic.
And the courthouse too has.
Yeah, you're right.
The courthouse has a lot of construction going on.
So it'll be interesting to see if they really take the feedback and assess it regardless of the other stuff. But anyway, this guy that I was talking to, he's very upset about it. And he's very, in fact, he probably swayed some feedback here to go to the negative side, maybe, because he was very outspoken about it. So I don't.
Well,
I liked
everybody's
it the way it
opinion.
was, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and
Only
get to our next.
pulling 1,000 people. Like, where did they get those 1,000 people?
Well, that's 1% of the. That's 1% of the population, I guess. That's
Well,
probably okay. Let's get going on to our next story here. Let's see. Oh, the Redmond Library.
This library is gorgeous.
The Redmond Library is set to open, but did you know that all of the libraries are getting an upgrade?
I didn't know that.
Check it out. This is probably the boring one. So the new Redmond Library is set to open next month.
We should go on location there.
That's a good idea.
Let's go play in the library.
We could do that. We could do a library thing. We could actually do a whole story in the library because, like I said before, all of the libraries, thanks to a bill in 2020, I think, have been updated. All of them in Central Oregon have been updated. So the Lapine one and Sun River ones have already been updated. The Redmond one, which we didn't know this, you and I drove by there last summer.
It was like $17 million or something like that.
No, it's more than that.
More?
Where is it? Oh, this is the central one. We'll get to this one in a
minute.
Look
at that. That's the one that's going out by Stephen Ranch. Here, that library looks like
this one here is beautiful.
A wave. It's beautiful.
Yeah, this is actually the central library. This is $137 million budget for the central library. It's over 100,000 square feet of everything. Just of everything, indoor, outdoor. They've actually Redmond Library also. I think it's a $43 million budget on the Redmond one.
Wow!
They literally took the original one down and rebuilt the new one in its place.
Mm-hmm.
They actually had it completed this past summer or late this past fall, and now they are literally just moving all the books over. You must be excited about this.
I love books. Yes.
Okay, it's a $43 million budget for the Redmond Public Library, and again, they're getting ready to open in January. A couple of cool things. It's going to have what was I going to say? Oh, it's going to have there will be workspaces,
a makerspace.
A makerspace, yeah, for 3D crafts, 3D printing. Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
It's also going to have there it is, co-working space.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be the first library with a co-working space, and the Bend Central Library is also going to have a co-working space. So that'll be a lot of fun.
That's super interesting because there's so many co-working spaces throughout Central Oregon. You can't even get a space.
Right.
They have like 6-month waits on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really cool. Also for people that are coming and going, the nomadic van people, that's awesome for them. Yeah. The makerspace is super interesting too, because what is it? Craft. Is it Craft or something like that? They have a place like that where you can go and you can use their tools and stuff like that. So that will be interesting. I wonder if the Bend Library will have that one too.
Yeah. So the looks like the Redmond one's now done. The Sun River Lapine one's done. The Bend Central Library looks like it's going to be finished in 2026. They're finally getting rolling on that.
And they're going to keep the downtown library.
They are.
Aren't they?
The downtown Bend Library will be the final library to be renovated.
Gotcha.
Once
so the East Side Library is going away.
Yes.
The one that by like Perea.
Yeah.
And so then they'll have the Stevens Ranch.
Correct. Yep.
Super cool. Beautiful building.
Yeah. So I think that's really fun. New library is coming. Books. You want to tell us about your book? Your books?
No, I don't want to talk about my books.
She's become a big.
Anybody want to do a book club with my groups?
Shannon's in. Let's go.
I think I read over like 30 books last year. Like,
I bet it was probably
more than that. Yeah.
All right. Here's one that I'm really excited about. This is our next story. The Newberry Caldera area, right? If you're talking about East Lake, over there, that area. It's actually an active volcano.
It is.
And it erupted like 17,000 years ago, something like that. It's an active volcano. And what's happening, this is brilliant. I had no idea this was a thing.
Well, we were driving home the other day.
Oh yeah, tell the story.
Yeah, we were driving back from Klamath Falls from a hockey tournament, and we look up at just outside of Lapine. We look up at like Newberry, and it looks like a torch.
There's
like,
something glowing up
just
there.
Glowing like a giant torch up in the sky, and I'm just like, what in the heck is that? And then we see this article, and it totally makes sense. I mean, you can explain.
Well, we didn't even know what it was at first, but so here, I'll pull up the boom. USGS, the United States Geological Survey, is testing seismic activity at Newberry Crater due to geothermal testing here. So what they're doing is they're actually they're testing geothermal energy. So what they do is they're creating steam, because they drill a hole all the way down to the bottom, wherever. Drill it down to where they need to drill it. And then they pour water down the hole. And what comes up? Steam. Because the rocks down there are like 600 degrees or something like that. Maybe more than that. Where is it? It said it here somewhere. Oh, no. It says it on a different one. This one. Different article. Potential is huge. And they're creating energy out of this and electricity out of this.
Oh.
They're going to be able to power, I did the math, they're going to be able to power like 2.5 million homes.
What?
Yeah. Crazy, right? So they're taking rock samples from 9,000 feet down below.
How?
Go ahead.
Oh, I have so many questions now.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, keep going. Keep going.
So what they're doing is they pour the rock down there. They pour the water down there. It's 644 degrees Fahrenheit down at the bottom of the hole.
That's
bunch
cozy.
of steam comes up.
Yeah.
They calculate, or they capture all of the energy that comes up from the steam. They recycle the water in holding tanks, and they just continue to do this. And it's a machine that just creates geothermal electricity.
That's fascinating.
It is. It's clean. It's renewable. I don't know if that's the right word.
Is this like?
So
this is like not being done. Is this like truly unique to? Like, this is new technology. Well, geothermal's not, but like
geothermal's not new, but you need the right
you need
geological location in which to harness it.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere and drill down and get to hot lava rocks, but you can here. So that's why they're trying to do this. Check it out. So it can create 2,500 megawatts. 2,500 megawatts. And a megawatt of energy could power around 1,000 homes. So 1,000 homes, that's 2.5 million homes.
What kind of grid do you have to get that to the homes, though?
Well, just like everything else,
turn
it's
right
still
into electricity, and you
still need power lines and stuff to get it there.
Yeah,
but it's not coal. It's not oil. It's not fracking. It's not it's not the inefficiencies in some cases. Wind, solar. It's super efficient. It's super green and renewable. As long as we don't have an earthquake and it shatters our whole tectonic plate in two, we're good. We got all the power we need.
That's really cool.
Isn't that wild?
That is wild.
Here's the amount of water that it needs is to do this on a continuous basis, as it's going to continue to, because it's like this, it's this never ending cycle of like the water going down, steam coming up, and then the water gets recycled to a holding tank and it comes back around and does it again, is the same amount of water that the city of Bend uses every day. It's like 20 million gallons. So they need all that water. They're probably going to take it out of Paulina. I'm just kidding. I don't know. That'd be funny if they did.
That would be horrible.
Don't take it out of East Lake. I like that lake. We like
East
to go
Lake's my
camping there.
favorite.
But I think it's a really interesting project. And so they've been testing this for a number of years. This article.
So that's what they've been testing this. Like, are they doing this in other places in the country?
I don't know. I mean, they must be. So Alta Rock is the name of the company. I don't know. We should probably look it up. Alta Rock is the name of the company that's doing this. And they're like the parent company of, what do they call it? Where is it? There's the name of this company. Newberry Crater, Project Newberry. The project is considered enhanced geothermal because unlike traditional geothermal projects, this one does not already have groundwater available to extract. The groundwater must be pumped in from a separate well. let's see. It says the name of it. There's the entire Newberry Crater area, energy independence. Phil Chang, one of our Deschutes County commissioners, is on board with this. He was quoted in this article saying he's a fan of it. It's a really good potential solution for importing coal-fired electricity and building Central Oregon's energy independence. Could you imagine that if we didn't have to worry about, like the Bonneville Power Association or anything like that? I mean, those fees have been going up like crazy. Oh, that's right. It's called Mazama Energy. So Mazama Energy is 70% owned by Alta Rock Energy. So this is a company that knows about this, that is doing this. They're just, we don't know about it here because they're just now getting here. So I think that this is a super, super interesting thing.
That is super interesting. We've got a lot of volcanoes.
Yeah, we got volcanoes. So we're going to use that steam, use that heat, and create energy. So that's pretty fun. Let's go to our next story. Do you know that company Basics?
Yeah, I'm always saying it wrong, I think.
I think we are too. I am too. What do you know about it? What do you think that they do?
Well, I thought they made medical equipment. And then I thought that they made like sheds for like FEMA or something like that. But I think I'm wrong on all of it. And it's a massive building and they keep expanding on it and expanding. I believe they're like the largest employer for Redmond.
So one of the largest, I don't know if they're the largest, but they're probably
they're
probably the largest independent, private company. So they took over the Walmart.
Yeah.
Back in like 2013, maybe ish. That right around that time they took back so it was a Walmart.
Yeah.
They started there, and
they
then
just keep expanding on that building. It's huge.
They keep expanding. They bought the lot next to it. They expanded that. Yeah. It's this huge building, and nobody really knows what they do there.
I don't know what they do.
So I was actually talking to somebody that used to work there a long time ago, right when they first opened, and what they told me was that they made basically sterile rooms. And for like doing surgery, like surgical rooms where like it's almost like a kit. You just pick up this kit and you can set it down and people can go into the sterile room environment and perform surgery. So I don't know if it was for military or I don't know exactly how it worked, but that was my original understanding. But then they also do I thought they did like refurbishment of other medical type stuff. Yeah, not. Apparently,
we're probably wrong on all of it.
Well, here's what it says. The company is internationally acclaimed for the design, engineering, and manufacturing of custom energy-efficient cooling solutions for the rapidly growing hyperscale data center field. So are they like working out in Prineville too with
probably
the Facebook
cooling systems and stuff
Apple
like that? But it did. I read somewhere that it did do.
Yes.
Other medical stuff. There you go.
Basics also designs and manufactures custom solutions for clean room environments for the biopharmaceutical, semiconductor, medical, and agriculture markets, as well as custom energy efficient air handlers and modular solutions for a vast array of markets.
That's a lot of things.
Whoa. So they make really cool rooms with filters. Yes. Cool rooms with filters so that air is clean and stuff.
Sure.
So what's fascinating about this?
Why are we talking about this?
Yeah, go.
Oh, well, they're expanding to Sisters, which is wonderful for Sisters to have another employer. I think they're going to have 30 living wage jobs that they're going to be providing, which is great for Sisters. And then also, I mean, because they were heavily dependent on Laird's, which Laird's is
right.
Not there
Laird's
anymore.
Left Sisters, and left a bit of a hole there. So Bassex is actually expanding to Sisters. They're expanding. They're not moving. They're expanding. They're taking 27,000 square feet over in the industrial park over there in Sisters. This is cool because this is a great economic boon to Sisters, right? Yeah. But also it's interesting because one of the two owners, I believe, lives in Sisters.
Yeah, I read that.
And so he lives in Sisters. So he's like, I'll just that way he could probably walk to work.
That's probably his department.
We'll just go over there. But it's pretty cool because it's going to bring some jobs. It's going to take up some industrial space. really, really cool that this company is touted as one of the fastest growing companies that we've got here in Oregon.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it employs over 500 people already in Central Oregon, which is great.
Yep.
And also they were very conscious about where their building goes in Sisters because they didn't want to be close to like a neighborhood. And they were just conscientious about how their effect on where they go to the town, which is nice because Sisters is small.
Yeah.
And
exactly. Yeah. It's nice that they were able to do that. So very cool. Okay. Jan, what do we have next? What should we talk about next? I know where you want to go.
True. Does Bend have 300 days of sunshine?
So this is one of the stories that you're really excited about talking about, but
because
I've heard it a couple different ways. So here's the thing. Everybody always says Bend gets 300 days of sunshine, but does it really? So here's an article. If you looked
out the window right now, you would be like, no, it doesn't.
It is not sunshiny today. In fact, somebody commented
like Portland out there.
Somebody commented on our YouTube channel just yesterday that said, stop lying about the weather.
Stop lying about the weather.
They were all mad because I was talking about the weather in one of our videos.
Weather is in the eye of the beholder.
That's right. So I was talking to the former head of Visit Bend about a year ago, and he was talking about how they calculate the 300 days of sun that we get, because the saying
they had
is
to get specific about it.
The saying is, Bend gets over 300 days of sunshine, blah blah blah. However, it depends on what you're counting a day of sun. Is it full sun or is it just some sunshine?
Did you have a glimpse of sun today?
If you got some sunshine, then that counts as a day. I don't know. What do you know from this story, Hen?
All I know. Well, I didn't read the whole thing. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's 255 days of sunny days and 111 cloudy days. Now, what are you comparing this to? Like, 255 days of sun is pretty darn fabulous.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we should look into other areas to compare to Bend. So if Bend versus Eugene versus Portland versus Seattle versus San Francisco, a lot of our feeder cities. Yeah.
Look, here's a full breakdown.
Here's a breakdown.
That's not bad. I like that better, actually. So we have 152 mostly sunny days, which I think is fantastic. Mostly cloudy 50, sun and cloud, mostly cloudy, sun cloud. I don't know how that's different. Parts, I don't know. Overcast.
Sun cloudy.
This is all kind of the same.
Mostly cloudy or partly cloudy. That is gray.
No kidding. Did it say? Were you just looking up on this?
I was comparing it to other cities and stuff.
So this doesn't have the numbers in here.
No, but I think we should put it up on our social media. We'll make a little graph.
Yeah.
And
I dig it.
Or maybe if you know a city that you're like, okay, what about, I don't know, Boise compared to Boise, which is sunnier. Because it is gray. And I don't know about you, but if it was any colder, we would have so much snow in town.
Yeah, the winter this year, if you're watching from somewhere else, you're thinking about relocating to the Bend area and just, you're a fan of our channel, you're watching or whatever. It's been a really, really wet. So much rain. Winter here in Bend. So much rain, no snow.
No snow.
But the mountains actually have the deepest snowpack in the country right now, which is absurd. I mean, they've just been getting absolutely pounded with snow.
That's how I prefer our winters. I want the snow on the mountains and I will go visit it. I don't want it in town anyways.
But I mean, we've missed feet of snow by 1 or 2 degrees.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, lows get down to 30.
So
the lows get, just barely get just 32 degrees. And the next day we're back up to 40, 45, 50 degrees. Our yearly average
in the last 10 days, I feel like it was so much rain.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What is it? 11 inches?
What?
Of rain.
Well, for a year?
Yeah.
Oh, we've had that in just no time at all. All right, guys, look, a couple of things for you guys. We're going to wrap this up here real quick. A couple of things to bring up.
Fun calendar things.
Yep.
International Fly Fishing Film Tour is on January 11th at the Tower Theater.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that.
Which we're a fan of that.
Yep. If you're looking for a 5K, you can hit up the Polar Bear Run. That's also in Redmond on January 11th. And then the last thing to kind of probably talk about is Winterfest. Winterfest is coming up February 14th.
That's Valentine's Day.
Hey.
Aww.
All right. Maybe I'll take you to Winterfest for Valentine's.
Woohoo.
Wouldn't that be sweet? Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you have any ideas or concept or thought of what we should be talking about, if you want to know about a certain development or something that maybe you're just driving around Bend and you see a chunk of land, you're like, I wonder what that's going to be. Send us a message and we will talk about it in our next episode. We love talking about developments, things that are coming up. We're going to constantly be reviewing developments that we've already talked about and giving you updates on all of them. So that's kind of what we want this to be, a talk about development news, economic news, business news, and then maybe some upcoming events. So maybe we'll see you at Winterfest.
Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching.
Bye, y'all.
And we'll see you next time.